in the snow globe of Highmark Stadium of Buffalo, the Bills pulled it out, 27-25 against the Baltimore Ravens. They got outgained, but they didn't get outplayed. They won the game, and they're going to the AFC Championship to battle their demons, to end the drought, to defeat the Giant Slayer in Pat Mahomes.
What?
Move the mic.
It's all right, bro.
It's okay, buddy. Don't worry.
I feel so defeated.
To beat.
You were doing good.
I was doing so
You
great.
did. You did great, but it's
Dang.
okay. You know, you went through like 3 hours of this stuff now, so
I know.
you got this, Dean. You got this.
Nick. It's Nick's
Yeah, right? It's all your fault.
No reason. Yeah, good.
Jeez.
You guys don't even know why I'm laughing.
Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills get the chance to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. 0-3 in the playoffs is Josh Allen against Mahomes. He finally has a chance to battle the demons, to change the narrative around the Buffalo Bills. 0-4 in Super Bowls. They got to get past this guy to get there in the first place. So, something they haven't been able to do to this point, but this game was absolutely electrifying. It was awesome. It came down to a 2-point conversion that slipped out of a certain somebody's hands. Lamar Jackson, 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers, and that seemed to be the theme of the weekend in all
turnovers
football.
lost games this weekend.
Turnovers are losing football games in the playoffs. It's just that simple. Do not turn the ball over. And I think the biggest storyline, more so than anything else in this game, is the evolution of Josh Allen. And this was an amazing game to watch. I mean, you got everything pretty much. But one thing you didn't get was a Superman performance from the guy who's long had to put on the cape. And I think that this is one of the biggest feathers in Josh Allen's cap this season is he learned how to just master the quarterback position. And what?
I'm sorry, you're spitting. That was cool. That was good. You didn't have to be Superman for the man who, that was sick. That
You're
was,
all over the
that was a
place,
good one.
though,
That was a
bro.
good one.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm trying to recollect what I was saying for the first time, but you just got to
You don't
kind of
have
let
to
it go.
repeat it. Just get us somewhere, and we'll talk about something.
Thought that was
Yeah, I'm gonna
Start with
finish
the
with this.
Bills?
I'm gonna finish with this. Yeah, I'm gonna just say Josh was phenomenal. Lamar stopped turning the goddamn ball over, and what are some thoughts about the Buffalo Bills?
You didn't have to be flat.
Nah.
Anyway.
No, Sully was cooking.
Let's talk about. No, hold on.
Holding.
Let's get him. So you watched Josh Allen master the quarterback position, and you said, BallGame podcast, TikTok viewers, Ravens. Why?
Right. You just said, you just acknowledged that you watched Josh Allen all season become the quarterback he's become.
Well, we know.
And you still bailed on him at his best time.
We know
Like,
Sully
that's
loves
the biggest
Josh Allen.
takeaway from this game is it's not that the Bills won. It's not that Mark Andrews dropped the ball. It's not that Lamar Jackson is the James Harden of the NFL. It's that you folded on business.
Look,
Well, all right.
We're not letting you get out of this.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
I feel like I'm like the feel bad mediator here.
No,
with
no,
this
no,
and
no.
the Mark
Feel
Andrews
bad
drop.
I don't want you to feel bad.
He shouldn't feel bad. No one should feel bad for you.
Look,
Not even feel bad. I just know you love Josh Allen, so there's a slight.
I do. No, I mean
It's not a misinterpretation, but like you did jack like
No,
the
I-
Ravens.
I said
but
that
you
the-
also jacked Josh Allen, so it's like where's that?
Definitely was Jack and Josh Allen.
Where's the sweet meet the sour? You know what I'm saying?
I said that the Ravens were going to win this football game, and I turned out to be wrong. My thing is, and I'll still hold firm to this, the Ravens lost themselves this football game. In the premise of what I was saying, the Ravens, matching up with the Bills' weaknesses, that came true. Like, they ran the hell out of the ball. They ran all over Buffalo.
Yeah.
And the offense just kept moving the football. They didn't punt. They averaged more than 10 yards per pass. They averaged around 6 yards per carry. I mean,
That shit's mad cute.
it is. And they turned the ball over on multiple occasions. They beat themselves. The premise still makes sense. I took the Ravens, and I'll stand on that. But I've been a big Josh Allen fan, and I'm happy for him. I'm not taking his victory lap. I'm just saying I'm happy for Josh that he got this win and has the chance to now go to Arrowhead and beat.
But you don't then get to claim it. You don't then get
No.
to be like, yo, I'm Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. If he wins next week, be the biggest Josh Allen fan. And I knew it the whole time. You didn't because you.
I'm not gonna come. I'm not gonna come on here and say that I knew it the whole time.
Can't. And that's it.
I'm standing here saying I thought the Ravens were gonna win the football game.
That you pinky promise me
Not
that
the
you're not
pinky
gonna show up
promise.
next week. Let's say the Bills win. You cannot hop back on. You're off. That's it.
If I pick the Bills in this game,
Yeah, that's it. You already lost. You picked against them and they won.
That shit has like over 200,000 views on TikTok.
it
They're
does,
not gonna
it does.
forget, bro.
You can't switch up now.
what?
You
So do I just have to buy into the villain
And I
role
know
now?
for
Like,
a
is
fact,
that?
I know that he checked you and you definitely said, "Yo, you're not picking Josh Allen, your boy." He warned you, and you still did it.
Yeah,
and
he
now you
warned
can't
you.
hop back on. Let's say they win, you're not gonna hop back on. It's not fair. Bills Mafia, you deserve better than a guy like this. Do not let him back.
So I said another thing
I'm
I
looking
said
at the
was
wrong
I said
camera. Do not let him back.
Josh was gonna have another masterclass, and it didn't even take that to win this game. It was just managing the game, not turning the ball over, and that's how they beat the Ravens. I mean, Lamar, awful pick to Taylor Rapp, gets a bad snap, fumbles the ball, and then you have Mark Andrews, who's just trying to be prime Barry Sanders, running around 2 or 3 guys.
He was the worst of them all.
And then gets it punched out. I mean, look, Mark had a good game in terms of receiving. Dude looked
Gets
young
my
again.
Face punched in.
Well, he gets no excuses. You're in the NFL. This is what you're paid to do. There's no excuses. You can't fumble that ball. Fine, it happens. You got to forget about it. You go and then drop the 2-point conversion to tie the game and essentially it ended the Ravens
ended their season, yeah.
right there. 2 straight drives, you have pivotal mistakes. It cannot happen, Mark Andrews. It cannot. I feel bad that whatever people are attacking him. You got to do your job. On the biggest stage, this is what you live for, and you fall short twice in a row. It can't happen.
I feel bad. What'd you say? Mark Andrews' girlfriend had to deactivate her
Yeah, so
account or something?
Mark Andrews' girlfriend had to deactivate her Instagram account because of hate
But
comments.
whatever, you got to do your job.
Hey, look, you're paid to be one of the 3 best tight ends in the NFL. Look, you've long been one of the 3 best tight ends in the NFL, and then you try to do too much.
Right.
You fell into the Lamar Jackson syndrome.
Right.
You tried to do too much, and it came back and it bit you. So
Honestly, I don't even know if it's trying to do too much. I think it was just
on that
Well,
run, he
the
was
fumble
trying to
he
do
did.
way too much.
Fumble, he was doing too much.
the fumble, but not the.
Imagine Travis
the
Kelce
2-point
does this. Imagine George Kittle does this. This is unacceptable for an elite level tight end.
Yeah,
This is unacceptable.
Kelsey would get ripped.
And Mark Andrews is no exception. It's not acceptable.
I agree. I'm with you on that. I think Lamar has to look at the other sideline in this one and take a lesson from this. Josh Allen and what he is now. Jeez, Nick. You all right over there, buddy? He has to take a lesson from Josh Allen in this one to where it's like, just play complimentary football. Your defense isn't playing a bad game. Your running backs have been running wild all over Buffalo. And your turnovers, cost you the game, cost you field position, and just you can't have that. You can't have that.
This is the biggest point that I have made that I think is the epitome of Josh Allen's evolution, right? It's his ability to now make the decision whether or not he is going to be the guy or has to be the guy, and when to back off, when to be Superman and when to be game manager. And he has had the perfect combination of both this season. He's had multiple wins in both fashions where he's taken a step back and let James Cook do his thing. He's taken a step back and let Ray Davis cook against the Jets. We've seen Josh Allen also be Superman and go for that big home run rushing play and bulldoze people through the end zone. He does it all. He's had the best season that he's had in his career this year. He's limited the turnovers. This is the Josh Allen year.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the Shadow Realm pod, but it's what Josh Allen has, and it's why, week after week, you guys could watch our old stuff. I've said it week after week. I was low on the Bills coming in. I will admit I was wrong about them coming in, but, it didn't take long for me to be back on the Bills thing. I'm in full gear.
In the full uni.
Yeah, but week after week, I've said that this is their best chance to, beat the team in red and match up with the team in red. And it starts with Josh Allen and his mastery of the quarterback position. And everything that the Bills have done this year is very reminiscent of what the Chiefs have done over the past few years. Whereas you lose a Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes has to learn how to play complementary football and flip the switch on and off at different points in the game and rely on the run game and rely on the defense and just not make mistakes. And we're seeing that with Josh Allen. I mean, it wasn't pretty in this game. 127 passing yards, 5.8 yards per attempt. Didn't throw a passing touchdown, but he didn't turn the ball over. And like we said, that was the theme of this weekend is it was protecting the ball. All 4 teams that lost this week outgained their opponent in total yards. So total yard shit don't matter. Protect the football. And Josh Allen's doing that at, arguably the highest level in the league this year, given the volume of, plays he needs to make. The way, obviously, Justin Herbert, I think, had the lowest turnover to touchdown interception ratio. But in terms of the volume of what Josh Allen has to be for this offense, I mean, he's doing it at the most efficient clip of his career and arguably the most efficient clip in the NFL. And, like I said, you look at the box score, it's very reminiscent of the Chiefs to where the Ravens' running game was more efficient, Lamar Jackson, 6.5 yards a carry. Derrick Henry, 5.2 yards a carry. They had more total yards than the guys on the Bills. But Josh Allen, 10 for 20, 2 yards a carry. James Cook, 17 for 67, 3.9 yards a carry. It wasn't efficient, but when they needed it, it was there. And it made those, second and longs, third and manageable. It made, third and manageable, fourth and an inch for a Josh Allen touch push, whatever the case may be. And it is very reminiscent of the Chiefs where it's not an efficient run game, but it gets the job done and makes the job easier for everyone else to where you're able to put points on the board consistently and then rely on the back of your defense to force turnovers, which they forced 3 of them. So
And I think that Josh Allen's evolution is the biggest difference between him and Lamar, the step that he took this year, right? Because I think Lamar is still part of the Joe Burrows of the world, which is not a bad place to be. Still the Justin Herberts of the world, like top 10, but you're not in a tier with Josh Allen. You're not in a tier with Pat Mahomes. Those guys are a tier above. And until Lamar Jackson can get into a space where he can confidently switch between game manager and superhero, because he shows a lot of superhero. We know what Lamar Jackson could do. When he's playing his best, he could be the best quarterback in the league. But when he's trying to do too much is where he becomes mediocre.
Yeah. And you see all the media heads saying, well, actually, these past 2 playoff runs, Lamar Jackson's proving he could be a playoff performer. Why? Because he's putting up better box score numbers than he was with Greg Roman. The bar was so low. Sure, he had a cool box score in this game. He had 254 passing yards, over 70% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and 114 passer rating.
But also to mention
That's
that
huge.
that was him making up for the turnovers that he had earlier in the game.
Right, he had to do that to give them a chance.
To at least have a chance.
And it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And, it sucks that Mark Andrews sold, but it wasn't enough. And he had to do that because of turning the ball over. And like we said, the fumble is the play I look at where it's a botched snap and, like you mentioned, it was a RPO play. The linemen were down the field, so he couldn't throw it. The thought process there is, all right, it's a botched snap, it's a broken play. Let me get as close to the line of scrimmage as I could possibly get and get the hell down. But he's bobbling the ball around he's thinking big play. I'm Lamar Jackson. I'm so fast, vroom, vroom. And then he forgets the football behind him. And that just can't happen.
No.
I mean, it's, turnovers, obviously always for the history of football, you can't turn the ball over in big moments in playoff games, but we're seeing it on I feel like a larger scale more than ever this year. The teams that aren't turning the ball over are the teams that are advancing.
Especially this weekend, it showed how much, obviously details matter in football, but, details matter in playoff football more than anything.
Yeah, 4-0. 4-0 if you win the turnover battle this weekend.
And every one of those teams got outgained. Every one of the teams got outgained, but they didn't commit a turnover. Played careful, smart football. Let the other teams beat themselves.
Yep. And
the other teams had to outgain them.
Right.
Because to make up for the turnovers.
That's what some people don't even... I llove the way that's the way you look at it, because I never fucking thought of it that way. They had to have a better box score.
You have to make up for something. So
you're like, oh, well, they were the better team. It's like, well, no, they had to do that to even have a chance.
The Bills didn't have to.
Let's say you have a 50-yard drive, you throw a pick. You got to make up for those 50 yards that you didn't capitalize on.
Right.
Yep. So I'll close my thoughts with this. I mean, we talk about the mastery of the quarterback position now from Josh Allen, and it's simplified this year. There's one guy that's not there, and it's Stephon Diggs. You talk about a receiver who needs the football constantly. Like, I need my targets every game. Get me the damn ball. That's probably another 6 or 7 pass attempts at minimum in this game if you have a Stephon Diggs, because you need to make sure this guy's getting fed. So you talk about this evolution of Josh. It's more. I don't want to say Stephon Diggs takes away anything. He's amazing. We know Diggs and how good he is, but just the ease of the burden on Josh to not have to worry about looking that way and saying, I got to get him the ball. I got to get him the rock. So now this man could look at the whole field and say, oh, Dawson Knox is open. I'm going to get Dawson Knox the ball.
But in that same point, then he is a burden. That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
If Diggs is on the field, you have to think twice about giving the ball to, Khalil Shakir over Stephon Diggs because he's Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs is going to let you know that he's Stephon Diggs. He's going to go to the sideline and let Josh Allen know. He's going to let the coaching staff know
Joe
that
Brady,
he needs his touches.
But that's also part of what's making the Bills so victorious this year is that they kind of had to have such an unpredictable offense, like you were saying, and that kind of that gives them the advantage because
Victorious.
I don't know, playing defense against a team that is so unpredictable.
It's a great show. But yeah.
Playing defense against such an unpredictable offense is just it's so hard, bro. It's such a different ball game. Whereas say your
roll credits.
That was
roll
BallGame.
credits. But yeah, I agree. I think it's made the quarterback position so much easier for Josh.
Like we were saying, it's something that the Bills and the Chiefs are having in common this year. Is they're both so unpredictable offensively with all their circumstances that obviously that's kind of leading them to win.
Right.
When you have a really good quarterback,
It doesn't have to be Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs against the world.
Right.
It could be the identity is Josh Allen and the Bills, not Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
James
and
Cook,
the
Ray
rest
Davis,
of the team. Yeah, exactly.
You'd rather be
Kincaid,
that way, right?
Knox, they're everybody. I'm just naming the whole fucking
Everybody
roster,
eats,
but,
man. Everybody eats.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Khalil Shakir's just happy to be on the field. I'm sure he's.
I've seen Keon Coleman.
He's a baller,
have some big
dude.
fucking
Right.
plays this year, and you're and they won those games.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to have superstars all the time in every team.
I'll leave it on this before we move on to the next game. All the questions that are going to be asked about Lamar Jackson for the entirety of this offseason, rightfully so. I think and granted, we're playing in an era with Pat Mahomes. It's going to be difficult for everyone. But I think you look at a guy like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is the thing holding him back. And, we'll see if he can get past that this weekend. That's another conversation. Patrick Mahomes is the thing holding him back. You look at a guy like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's holding Lamar Jackson back. It's not a Patrick Mahomes thing. It's not that he's just running into the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson is folding it when it matters the most. That's been the story of his career. This is a guy who hasn't won consecutive playoff games in his entire career. That's a problem. It's a problem. In this game, again, the box score will say Lamar Jackson outplayed Josh
He was
Allen.
good as a passer.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
He was. I'm just
He
saying.
made the mistake.
But I'm just saying. But that's been the one thing that throughout the playoffs we've always seen Lamar
The
fold in
one
terms
thing
of
with Lamar
passing the
Jackson
football.
was can he not fold in the playoffs? I don't care if you do it as a passer or as a runner. I don't care how you do it. Can you win games when it matters the most? He did not I don't care. He didn't beat that narrative. Mm-hmm. Sure, and again, his box score looks better than it did with Greg Roman as the OC. Obviously, when you have a run-first coordinator who has not good passing plays in his scheme, and then you add a guy who has good passing plays in his team, you're going to be better as a going back to last year preseason, we all knew Lamar Jackson was going to take a step forward as a passer. It didn't take a rocket scientist to know that, so I'm not moved by him having 250 passing yards in a playoff game. I'm not moved by it. Don't turn the ball over. Win the game.
Yeah.
Win consecutive playoff games. Then we'll have a conversation about you, Lamar Jackson. Until then, every question, can Lamar Jackson get the job done when it matters the most is a fair question to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to it. I know you're going to go out and say Lamar Jackson could get one done eventually.
It's
Maybe.
weird. It's weird.
He's
It's
gonna get one.
That's
He's
hard to say.
talented.
I'm telling you, he's gonna
It's
get
hard
one.
to say because like he kind of did at the end of the game. Just the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't work.
in the biggest moment of his career, yeah, he drove down the
show
field
up,
and
yeah.
played great. He played
Yeah.
fantastic on that drive. But you created this situation to where you were even
That you
having to
had
do that. Yeah, you were
yeah.
even having to do that.
So it brings up a lot of
You
argument.
got to
yeah.
rely on Mark Andrews making a play like it.
Making a routine play, but a play.
But
Making
he made
like
two
almost
mistakes to put him in the hole.
potentially
Yeah.
like a hip catch. Like he kind of like had to be like,
Sure.
Yeah.
turn
And
catch
again,
it weird.
what's getting lost in the shuffle because Mark Andrews getting all the blame. All that was going to do was tie the game up and give Josh Allen the ball with 1:30 and 2 timeouts.
And then they would have got a field goal most likely. Yeah.
And Tyler Bass hit a 51 yarder earlier in
That's
the
a
game. So.
hypothetical situation,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, that wasn't to win the game. That wasn't to,
That was to give a chance,
change
yeah.
the narrative on Lamar Jackson. That was to give it a chance.
Good chance. Yeah.
Give it a chance. You have to stop them and then pray that the coin toss goes in your favor.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, look.
If it even goes into OT, and Josh Allen doesn't
Right.
do that. So.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff.
Make sure to check out our full-length podcast popping up on the screen right now.